What up, Poppin T fam? It's your host, Poppin T, sitting here as usual. Poppin T. We're back post-draft. It's time for the season to really get started. Ravens, it looks like we know what the roster is looking like across the leagues. For most teams, we're starting to get into camp. Rookie mini camps have happened and finished. It's almost time to get going. So, Pop T for the day, you want to let the people know?
Yeah, we got two little bits of tea. It's been an eventful couple days for the Ravens these last couple days. Yep. First bit of tea, super sad. Darius Washington, the standout, undrafted free agent from last year, our part of the dynamic duo back there with Kyle Hamilton. He tore his Achilles during cardio at a practice and will be out for most, if not all, of the season. It's a huge blow, but thankfully we drafted another safety who will go a little bit more into depth about later in this podcast episode. But yeah, just a huge loss to lose him. He was one of my favorite players on the team. I loved, very similar to Keaton Mitchell to me, in just like fighting for a spot, undersized guy, plays with so much heart. I mean, out there making plays when you really didn't expect him to be able to make those plays to begin with. Sad losing him. And then Derrick Henry will be back through 2027. The Ravens hand him that $30 million extension, $25 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid running back of all time over the age of 30. How can you not love that?
Gotta love it, right?
So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
This week has just been a bad week for Achilles. My Achilles. I tore my Achilles a couple years ago, and I could just feel it throbbing all weekend. Like when Tatum went down in Game 4, I felt my Achilles. I was like, yeah, his shit is gone. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and just grabbed like the back of my leg. And then I looked at my phone, and our Darius had torn his Achilles, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it really hurts to see that, man. Luckily, like you said, we drafted Stark, so we have a guy that can come step in and replace him. Now we have to find that third, because the big thing with Stark is that we knew we were going to be able to rotate all three of them, and Kyle Hamilton was going to be able to play wherever he wanted. So now we got to find that third guy again. We'll see if it ends up being Sanusi Kane or an undrafted free agent possibly, or Justin Simmons, maybe Marcus Williams even back in the building. Who knows?
Quandre Diggs is available. Julian Blackman. There's a lot of safeties out there.
Yeah, so we'll probably figure it out closer to camp. Expecting maybe something towards June-ish. But it sucks to see it, man. Especially like after last year, he, like you said, he got to the opportunity with Marcus not playing well, and he's really a lightning in the bottle for us defensively, and made that big turnover against the Steelers, knocking that ball out against Russell Wilson. So it's gonna hurt to see him not out there, man. And like you said, on a higher note, Derrick Henry, excited to have him in Baltimore for the next couple years, man. That feel like to me just extended our Super Bowl window just a little bit, having him here in the building. Now you're having him here until 2027. Time is now for Baltimore, man. So Henry staying along, signing, he sees the potential here, and hopefully we can do something with that.
Yeah, I think this team is poised. So
poised to make a run. Just got to do it. So I guess we'll take that into our first segment of today, talking about Starks, our draft. The Ravens have had a very good draft, according to many pundits. You could say a lot of people giving us A+ to A- range. I think it's really because the first two picks, like you said, Malachi Starks first round, and then Mike Green somehow falling all the way to the 59th pick in the second round. Before we get into anybody else, Poppy, talk to me just a little bit on your reaction of Mike Green somehow finding his way to Baltimore.
Mike Green was my number 2 edge rusher in this class. And for him to fall all the way to the second round and land in the Ravens' lap is incredible. I mean, it's a tough situation because he could be a really crappy person. He could be a really, if these allegations that have come out that were in his past end up holding any sort of weight, like
Mm-hmm.
that could jeopardize his whole playing career. Like he could be out
100%.
the league. And I think that if the Ravens felt it was okay to draft the guy with everything going on with Justin Tucker, with everything that's gone on in the past with other players, I do think that he is a good person. I do think that they've trusted the behind the scenes issues and the off the field issues enough to take him. But if we're talking about pure talent, I mean, this dude is ready to go. This is what I thought should have been like a top 10 pick. Like, I would have been ecstatic for the Panthers if they had taken him at 8 instead of T-Mac. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I think Malachi's a great pick just because of how we're able to secure the secondary. But, I mean, if Mike Green hits and, like, that's a number 1 edge rusher and Dafe slots in as a 2, Kyle slots in as a situational pass rusher, like, dude, that was my biggest need for the Ravens going into this offseason. And the fact that they're able to address that with, in my opinion, the second best edge rusher in the second round, they already spent a pick on another first round talent. Like, I don't know, it's scary. Scary hours. Think about.
Or go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would say to me, it's like when I see Starks and Green, both Ravens, it feels like we traded back up in the first to get Mike Green. Then I'm like, no, we didn't do that. Like it says second round. Then it still feels like we traded up in the second round to get him. But no, we didn't move. Like we stayed put at where we were at, and we let him fall to us. Like, and it's just like people wonder how good teams stay good every year, and this is how.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens had no business getting Mike Green at 59. Like that just, it shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I really think that if the Ravens do end up going all the way this season, I think that people will look at Mike Green as a very, very important reason why. Because pass rush is so important in this league. And for so long we've had great number 2 pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kyle has been far and away our best edge rusher the last couple of years. But it hasn't felt like we've had like a game changer since Sizzle left the building, honestly.
I think that's right.
And I think Mike Green realistically has the potential to be that. Like, not just saying that as a biased Ravens fan. Like, going into the draft, like, I was mocking Mike Green to the Panthers at 8, the Saints at 9, like.
Yeah, I think in our first mock draft, we had him going 9 to the Saints.
Yeah. Like, dude, that's ridiculous. And the fact that Starks falls to us, too, it's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy, the Ravens' luck, man, but like we always say, trust in EDC. I don't want to harp on every pick, but next two picks, the Ravens go offensive line, Emory Jones from LSU, and linebacker Teddy Buchanan, inside linebacker from California. Emory Jones is projecting to play guard, and Teddy Buchanan, they're both guys who are going to be in position battles. Emory Jones for the left guard battle, potentially right guard, and Teddy Buchanan for that linebacker 2 spot next to Roquan Smith. How did you feel about EDC going? It's like, to me, no luxury picks between, I guess, edge. Would you call edge a luxury pick?
As in, like, not a need?
Not as a need, but like flashy. Like there no running backs, no wide receivers. Like the first 4 picks were okay: safety, trenches, middle linebacker.
I mean, I think that they were need picks. I think first and foremost. I mean, I think Mike Green I mean, edge is a luxury for sure.
Yeah,
But I mean, all these positions, it makes sense to me. Like if we had taken a running back in on day 1 or 2, like yeah, then we're talking about luxury.
okay.
But I mean, I could see a need. I could see how all these players could play in like this year
Because to me, it's
with the
like
first 4 picks.
we went from at a point, obviously, we draft, pre-draft, just always throwing names around. We're like, okay, we wouldn't be upset if they took Gentry, or I wouldn't be upset if they took Burden, or this, and that, you know. But then to sit back and after the draft, look at it like, okay, this is what we needed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this was no fantasy. This was no like BPA, how we always talk. This was okay. The Ravens we need a safety. We need to address edge. Our O line was shitty last year. We need to address that. Trent Simpson struggled last year. We need to address that. Our depth at the O line position, we need to address that. You know, going round 5 tackle, and then round 6, you know, going back to corner, and then Justin Tucker was kind of shaky and drafting a kicker, and then LeJontay Wester, a wide receiver, you know, potentially on the depth chart, but potentially a return guy. And then you draft Aeneas Peebles, where it's like, okay, a pass rushing D tackle. We need a D tackle after Pierce. You double dip again with longer beam. It's like, okay, our secondary was terrible last year. And then you look at Dellinger, the last pick, the guard from LSU, and it's like, okay, our line was shitty last year. So it's like, there wasn't like a bunch of BPAs and the sexy picks and this. It was like why did we lose games last year? Let's fix that. Let's focus on that and nothing else. Like, and I'm cool with that. Like, I have no problem with that. We drafted 3 O linemen and 2 cornerbacks.
Yep.
Our O line and our secondary was our biggest problems last year. Like, I generally have no complaints with this draft.
You know, I thought that the Ravens addressed all their biggest needs perfectly. I mean, I don't think there would have been any reason not to address need only in this draft because the roster's pretty much complete. I mean, in the positions that we're strong at, we're 3 deep at running back. We're 4 or 5 deep at wide receiver with Tylen Wallace, D-Hop, Rashad, Zay. We drafted Devontae last year. Like, we're 3 deep at tight end. And we're still able to draft offensive line. We're still able to draft a potential linebacker too.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to address the secondary even more. Like, I think that we did a great job in this draft.
We're at the point where this draft kind of solidifies for me where the regular season no longer matters. I think we've all known that for a while. It's no secret, but like you said, how this team, there's no holes on this roster. The roster was already good. If the way the season ended, whatever, before the draft, if you took that roster into the season, the Ravens are still one of the best teams in football. You had the guys that you just drafted. We just plugged every hole. There are no excuses. So once again, for the 6th year in a row, it's Super Bowl the bust for the Ravens. Like, it's time to find a way because this was a great draft class. Obviously, we'll see how we feel about this in 2, 3, 4 years. But looking at it now, like you said, we filled the holes. This roster is locked and loaded. It's ready to go. There's no excuses, man. Let's go get this thing done.
Yeah. And I love how the first 2 picks are like instant impact players. Should be. I think they will be.
Like Starks. Let's move on to the next one before I get to going on those Starks. But speaking of those 2 impact players, you know, hopefully we can see them right away. Schedule drops. Let's talk about a couple of the big games. How you're feeling about the schedule, the prime time. So to start it off, the Ravens starting off hot. Buffalo Bills at Buffalo, 8:20 Sunday Night Football. What you think?
I think that's going to be a great game. It's like you said about kind of the regular season not mattering. Like, I could definitely see us walking into Buffalo and beating them
Just like we
badly.
did week 2 this year. Like,
yeah, it's the same thing. Like, that's a team that it won't matter how that game goes because we still lost in the playoffs against them. But I am very excited for that game to start the season. I think that's going to be
it
fantastic to
sucks.
watch.
My bad. But it sucks having to keep being on this side of this shit. Like, starting off week 1 in Kansas City because you lost the AFC Championship to Kansas City. And it's like, yeah, let's go get this back. And then it's this year losing to Buffalo in the divisional. Now we got to go play Buffalo week 1. I don't want to have to go play somebody week 1 again because we lost to them this fucking postseason. Like, I want to be the team with the Thursday night game. Somebody got to come to us and we can do our ring ceremony, man.
Well, hopefully it's only one more year of
hopefully
it.
This is it, man. Week 3, we got the Lions at home, a Monday night football game. Detroit Ravens, that's going to be exciting. Season starts off hot because then right after that you got Kansas City at Kansas City. So week 1, week 3, week 4 you got Buffalo, Detroit, Kansas City. How did the Ravens start the season off? Second week is versus the Browns. Didn't say that, sorry. So Bills, Browns, Lions, Chiefs. How did the Ravens start the season?
I think they start 3-1.
3-1 with the loss going to.
Either the Bills or the Lions.
I like that. I got it going 3-1 with the loss being the Buffalo. Starting off 0-1, running 3 straight. Holy shit! I stopped at 4. I didn't even go to the next week. Damn. Fuck! I just cursed.
The first half of the schedule is tough.
I just cursed like a sailor. I didn't even look all the way to 6 because it just kept getting worse. I'm like, I looked at week 4. I'm like, damn, we got the Chiefs. I'm like, damn, we got the Texans right after that. Like, damn, we got the Rams right after that. Like,
and then the Bears, the reloaded Bears with
Ben Johnson crew.
Ben Johnson.
And then you gotta go to the Dolphins for Thursday night.
Prime time.
Jeez.
But then the second half of the schedule is kind of cake after
we're basically
that.
just playing the division a bunch of times. And then
you got J.J. McCarthy Vikings. You got Justin Field Jets. And you got the Patriots. The Packers will be stuff.
I expect that Packers
will be
game
tough
to get flexed because I expect us to both be in playoff contention. So currently where we sit, the Ravens only have 4 primetime games. No, 5, I believe. 4. They have week 1, Sunday night football. Week 3, Monday night football. Week 9, Thursday night football. And then week 13 versus the Bengals, 8:20. We do have the primetime Thanksgiving game. Which is obviously exciting.
That's going to be
fun
sick.
to see. But I personally, I'm upset with us only getting 4 games. I don't like that at all. I feel like the Ravens are a big enough market team. Maybe it's because of the schedule and who we're playing, but they could. I don't know. You could change this around. Like the Rams game should be a primetime game. I don't understand why that's not. The last time we played them, it was a walk-off punt in overtime. Lamar Jackson drove however many yards to tie the game up with that Zay Flowers touchdown. That not being primetime doesn't really make sense to me. The Bears not being primetime doesn't really make too much sense either. You would think with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, they'd be wanting to get that on TV. It's the Bears, it's the Ravens. I don't get how you have a guy like Lamar Jackson and not be putting him into as many primetime slots as possible.
I think that it's a lot to do with the way we kind of have been regular season merchants. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because every time we're in prime time, it's firework. It's amazing.
Like the Ravens never disappoint.
It's great football.
Lamar Jackson doesn't disappoint in prime time. Like that's one of the one things about being the Ravens fans is turning on the primetime games and every time hearing, oh, Lamar Jackson is 8-0 on Monday Night Football. Oh, Lamar Jackson is 6-1 on Thursday night. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Like that's what he shows up every time. So it's like I don't get how you have a team of Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, DeAndre Hopkins, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Mike Green, and they get 4 primetime games, possibly 5 with that Packers game being flexed. But like, yeah, I know we start the season off Sunday Night Football. That's an honor, appreciate it. But like, duh, why is the Chiefs game not primetime? The game ended on 1 inch of Isaiah Likely's toes last year. That's how the game ended.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world obviously it's a 4:25 game, so the whole world will be watching it. But like, that's 8:30 kickoff to me. Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, that's 8:30
Mm-hmm.
kickoff. That's how I see it.
Definitely.
And it's just I don't even want to go see like other teams' schedules because I know it's going to make me upset that like I'm going to go look at my phone and the Jets are going to have like the same amount of primetime games as this, or like the Giants, just because they're the New York teams. Hey, I don't get how you have Lamar Jackson have four primetime games.
It definitely is frustrating.
A 2-time MVP there is getting 4 primetime games. There is no Brady, no none of them guys no more. It's Pat, Lamar, and Josh. Those are the guys getting the primetime games. I don't give a fuck about no Jordan Love. I don't care what you're doing over there in Wisconsin. I don't care. I don't need to see Kyler Murray on my TV screen. Put Lamar Jackson on primetime.
You're a little biased, though.
I know I'm a Ravens fan, dude. Everybody wants to see their teams, wants to see their guys play, but like.
But the logic is sound. It's like
market guys on TV.
There's like 4. There's 4 like, names.
When I watch Gatorade commercials, it's Lamar Jackson and Luka Doncic and whoever else, Anthony Edwards. Like, I'm not seeing no Justin Fields and no Gatorade commercials. I don't need to see him on TV. I don't need to see him on primetime. Put that boy on Thursday Night Football. That's his primetime game. Give him another one after that, and that's it. Cut it after that. Like, especially like I know I'm gonna go see the Steelers have 6 primetime games, and it's going to fry me because Mason Rudolph is going to be playing in primetime games over Lamar Jackson because they're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find this post.
It pisses me off, bro. I'm gonna see if I can try to find the Steelers schedule real quick. I'm surprised the Steelers even have a Twitter account, honestly.
Where I just saw a post. It listed that the Chiefs have the most primetime games with 7, which is absurd. Yeah. Oh, here it is. So the Chiefs are at 7. There's one team at 6 primetime games. Who do you think it is?
Dallas.
It's Dallas.
Because they're locked in for a Thanksgiving game, like off rip.
And then the teams with 5 primetime games are the Commanders, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Lions, the Bills, and wait for it, the Falcons.
Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Michael Penix has more primetime games. Tua Concussion Viola has more primetime games than Lamar Jackson in the year 2025.
If Man has more primetime games.
What are we doing?
Have you heard people calling Justin Herbert If
like
Man?
ChatGPT memes. That's who he is. If Man.
That's funny.
I just went and looked at the Steelers page. The Steelers have the same amount of primetime games as us.
I saw.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph has the same amount of primetime games as Lamar Jackson. And I was just complaining about Adam Silver and his rig league and what's it called is over here doing this.
Yeah.
I know this is a football podcast,
It's
but
crazy.
Dallas getting the first overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft is collusion at the finest level. I've never seen collusion like this in my life. Dog, they trade away Luka Doncic, and you're telling me within 2 months, a team with a 1.8% chance at getting the number 1 overall pick gets the first American-bred white boy in like 20 years. The Dallas Mavericks, who went from Dirk Nowitzki to Luka Doncic, somehow are now getting Cooper Flag. You call it what you want to call it, bro, but I'm seeing what Adam Silver doing, bro.
Luck of the draw, man.
This shit
Luck of
is
the draw.
rigged. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Like Washington, they won like 18 games this year, dude, and they have like the sixth pick, sixth pick, something like that. It's tragic, but
It is tragic.
yeah, we got to do better by Lamar Jackson, no NFL. Don't be like Adam Silver in the NBA. Adam Silver puts his primetime guys on primetime games. The NFL is a little more traditional. Yeah,
They're still figuring it out.
Give them that. But like you said, first half of the schedule is really the test. If you can survive the first half, you should be able to get through the second half. Okay, that's how I kind of look at the schedule.
I feel like our schedules are normally like that.
Yeah. I'm doing all this complaining. Let me say this real quick before we move on to the next part. There are 3 teams, 0 primetime games: the Browns, the Saints, and the Titans. That makes no sense to me because how does your number 1 overall pick not have a single primetime game?
It doesn't. None of it makes sense to me. The way they choose to how to make the schedule. Like, you telling me Cam Ward, number 1 pick in the draft, is not gonna have a primetime game? I get the Saints and the Browns,
and even then, it's kind of like you would think with Shadur possibly being the quarterback that they might want to try to slate one of those in. But you can't tell me.
You have no clue if Shadur's going to start.
You can't tell me
Cam
Ward can't not get one game, bro. One game. They play the Chiefs December 21st. Just make. You want to put Pat Mahomes in a? That's another fucking thing. I'm sorry. Gee, my mouth is all over the place there. Taylor Swift that's the reason they have 7 primetime games. Like, is one reason. I don't care that much to watch 35-year-old Travis Kelce run routes out. It looks like my dad out there running routes at this point. Like, it hurts to watch him out there play, but like, because he's dating the most famous pop star in the world, there 7 primetime games now.
I hope they fall off drastically.
Dude, we are putting something on the grill. When the Chiefs fall off, let the Chiefs not win it. Let them not win the AFC West this year. Let the Chargers or the Broncos win. We're putting something on the grill. Steaks, ribs, hot dogs, burgers.
Both. All of it.
Cracking a couple cold ones, dude. We're going to celebrate the end of Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, we are. I'm ready to start a parade.
I gotta see this tweet, bro. It was hilarious. When Jason Tatum tore his Achilles, Pat Mahomes sent out prayers emojis, and somebody retweeted it, was talking about you're next. Dog, I was in tears, bro. I was in tears.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't remember which wrestler it was. It was a WWE guy. All right, man. I'm all over the place. Let's get into this next thing. So that was the schedule release. Talked about post draft reactions. Are there any initial position battles that you can think of that you're looking forward to going into camp?
There's 2/3 that I'm looking at. I think that LB2 job between Teddy Buchanan and what is his name? Trenton Simpson. I think that Trenton Simpson is going to actually have to fight for his hold on that LB2 spot because he lost it last season. And I think that the other position battle is figuring out who's going to start at the guard spots. Whether it's Emory Jones, Daniel Falele, Voorhees, and I think Cleveland's still on the roster. I think we re-signed him.
Just legal trouble, but I don't know what's going on with that.
So it's going to end up being some fashion of those 4 at left and right guard. I would imagine, if I had to guess, it's going to be Voorhees at left and Falele at right, but I really have no clue. And those are the two ones. I mean, I guess there'll probably be some sort of position battle amongst the wide receiver core. We'll see if Nuke just claims that third wide receiver job. I know the Ravens organization loves Tylan Wallace,
That
so
would be
maybe
nasty work. If they bring
Tylan
D-Hop in and did him like they did Deontay, that'd be
yeah.
nasty work. Because no offense to...
Well, I don't think it'd be the same as Deontay, but like I feel like when Odell was here a couple years ago, him and Nelson were kind of splitting snaps, you know?
Yeah.
So I could see that a similar thing happening where like Tylan and DeAndre are kind of... Because DeAndre's old, man.
That's fair. It might be like a red zone.
DeAndre was a slow receiver to begin with. Yeah, like... And I think that they really do value Tylan Wallace. So it's going to be interesting to see how that wide receiver room sorts out. But I don't really see any... I think that the edge room is going to sort out interesting, but the three guys are going to be Dafe, Kyle, and Mike Green. I have no faith in Ojabo at all. So those are my thoughts on the position battles. I don't know if there's going to be anything else too deep beyond that. Do you have any extra thoughts on position battles?
Really, the guys you said. I'm looking to see who's going to step into Ardarius's role. Who's going to end up being that third safety. I don't know if it's going to be a guy already in house or if they're going to bring somebody in. And like you brought up the edge rusher, but I'm really curious to see who in January is going to be the 1 and 2. Because obviously they're all going to play, they're all going to rotate. But when it's third down, 3rd and 6 in the fourth quarter, it's going to be Kyle and Dafe. It's going to be Kyle and Mike. It's going to be Mike and Dafe. But besides that, I can't really think any position battles. I'm curious. I'm a little biased. A friend of mine, Sone, our back here at Mom, is undrafted free agent. I'm curious to see what they do with him and Ali, because it's like you have Derek, who's a power back. You have Justice, who's more of a scat back. Keaton is more of a scat back. Ali is more of a scat back. But Sone is another power back, but he also ran a 4.5. So those are really the only position battles I'm looking at. I don't think there will be a change at tight end 1 and tight end 2. I think Mandrews has the job. But I do expect them to incorporate likely just a little bit more. But yeah, that's really it for me, honestly.
Yeah, I think that I think that they will end up going out of house. I think they'll end up signing a safety after Ardarius went down.
Because they really did like Bo Breed last preseason, so that's why I'm kind of curious on it.
But even still, like, just for depth, I think that they'll still go get someone.
Yeah.
But that edge rusher question is certainly interesting, because I don't know, Dafe just hasn't, like, really taken that step, but Kyle is getting older, so it's like, who's gonna... It's just three guys that have questions around them. One's a rookie, one hasn't taken the step to be elite, and the other one has been elite, but is 34 years old. So it's like, where are we going to be in January?
I don't know. I'm also kind of, I guess I lied. D-tackle. I'm curious who our starting nose is going to be. I don't expect them to play Travis in the 1 or at nose, because we're technically running 3-4. So I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe it is going to end up being Travis Jones.
I think it's going to be Travis.
But like I personally never thought Travis was big enough to really hold down a nose like that. But I guess we're going to find out.
I think it'll be him. I think it'll be him or Broderick, honestly. But Broderick's not the biggest either.
No, they're really not.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think Peebles is actually going to play quite a bit next season.
I was just about to ask you about him. Do you see him more playing just like a specialty down, like third downs type of pass rusher? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that they'll unleash Matabike and Peebles on third downs quite a bit.
Like Peebles, Namdi, and then Kyle and Mike, or Kyle and Dafe, whatever the group is.
With freak athletes.
Kyle Hamilton mugged up at the line of scrimmage. Roquan mugged up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're really going to do about that.
Not much. But
Lord, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, I'm done with this shit, Pop. Like,
you're
this,
lying. You're lying.
dude. This
I don't believe
podcast
you.
shit, bro. This Poppin T, dude. Cause I can't keep coming back each offseason talking about what went wrong and how we're gonna fix it and how we fixed it and how it can't go wrong this year for it to go wrong. I can't keep doing it, bro. So like, if any Ravens players hear this, bro, it's on y'all, bro. Like this podcast is on y'all, bro. Get this shit done, cause
It's important. We
I
need
can't
y'all.
keep doing this, bro. I can't keep doing it.
Well,
Jeez.
on that lovely note, I think we're going to close it up for the night. But thanks for staying tuned in. Expect it to be less frequent through the rest of the summer, as there's just not much going on throughout the league. But as the season gets closer, expect things to heat up as we start talking about the final 53-man, our record predictions, things like that.
Over under on player stats. We'll also do that as well.
Yeah. So there'll be things coming up, just not as frequent through these next couple months.
Also, because I'm currently no longer a Division I athlete, I would like to start incorporating a little sports betting component to this.
That'd be nice.
Start doing some parlays every week. Some off season, who to throw for 4,000 yards, who to rush 4,000, put some odds together. See if we can make y'all win y'all some money for rocking with us for the journey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Well, we will catch y'all in the next one.
deuces.
Deuces.